Hey guys, so we'll be looking at a program to store elements in an array and print it. This is a basic program associated with arrays data type. Arrays is a homogeneous collection of elements of the same data type, meaning if you have an array of data type int, let me give it a name A and let me say that it's got a size 5. We specify the size because it's a composite data type. You are collecting many integers together, so you have to specify a size for it. So this means that we usually depict it in an horizontal form and we write boxes. So this means that there are 5 memory locations. The name is given A and all these are going to be integers. Now how do you access an array? You access an array by the index positions. The index position starts from 0 and goes till size minus 1 because we start from 0. So this is how we represent an array. In order to access the elements of the array also we use these index positions. So this position is known as A of 0, this is known as A of 1, this is A of 2 and this is A of 3 and this is A of 4. So each time you want to access the elements of the array, what I would suggest to do is take a variable and this variable is supposed to hold the index positions of the array. So take this variable I, assign it to 0 and each time it moves from 0 to 1 to 2 to 3 to 4, keep accessing A of I. That way you can access all the variables, all the memory locations of the array from 0 to size minus 1. How do we enter elements into the array is, see, i's value changes from 0 till n minus 1 and each time you are accessing A of I. So you have to repeatedly access A of I as I proceeds from 0 to size minus 1. So when you have something that repeats a function over and over again over a set of values, naturally we move on to looping constructs. So easy way of accessing elements, to enter elements into an array or to print elements into an array, we usually go for loops. Now we need to start I from 0 and go till size minus 1. That means I keeps on incrementing in this range from 0 to size minus 1 and you have to do a operation inside. So the easiest loop we will go for is a for loop. So in order to store elements into the array, what you can do is you can create an array of size 5 and let's call use I for accessing the elements of the array. Now I here is usually known as a loop variable because, or the index variable, because as the name suggests you can use it to access the elements of the array and it also is the number which is used to go from 0 to the size minus 1. So take a loop for initialize it to 0. You have to keep checking that it is less than or equal to n minus 1. So either you can write I less than n or you can write I less than equal to n minus 1. This is the condition that should be checked in the loop. Either ways works. I plus plus. And when you want to enter elements into the array, scanf %d, just like a normal integer variable input, you would do the same for array variable input. Ampersand, and where you will be entering into the ith position of the array A. So this is how you enter variables into the array or enter values into the array. When you go for printing, again you start from I is equal to 0, I less than n or I less than equal to n minus 1, I plus plus, printf %d and A of I. These are the two statements, scanf and printf, which we already know is associated with input and output. and the only difference we're making here is we're using a loop, because we have to repeat the set of scanf and printf statements over the index positions of the array from 0 to the size -1. Now, one more thing to keep in memory is declaration of array size. You can declare array size by writing int a of and directly go and write the size in numerals in the brackets while declaring. This is good. Now, the problem with this is throughout your program, you only have 10 spaces available to you. That can be a boon as well as a bane. Boon as in you might not need 10 spaces, but still you have 10 spaces available to you. Bane as in what if your program needs something more than 10 spaces? Or if you're using 2 or 3 spaces, the remaining 8 or 7 spaces is going to be waste. You can do another way. Instead of this, declare n as a variable and you can assign these variables. Take it as int n is equal to 5 and you can do int a of n. Now, writing int a of n is valid only if n is a constant which has already been declared earlier. If n is not a constant which is being declared earlier, you still have a trouble. It will show you an error. Another way is write int n. This way of writing still restricts you only to 5 spaces. Another way is declare int n, take the value of n through scanf. So this will enable you to take any size in the beginning of the program. Once you are done with this, you can easily write int a of n. So this makes sure that your program is going to be valid for any size throughout different executions. You get a versatile size for an array. Whereas if you declare it in this manner or in this manner, you end up having only limited number of spaces. Here also you end up having limited number of spaces, but the difference is here it's only 10, here it's only 5. Here it is any value of n that you declare in the beginning of the array. So whenever you have any program, you can naturally have a guess of how much value you might need. Take that as input through a scanf function and then declare the size of the array. Now we'll see this in the code. Moving to the code part of storing and printing array elements. I'm writing a printf statement to enter n, then scanf %d ampersand n. I need int n for this, and after this I'll be declaring array of size n. Then I need I for the loop variable, index variable of the array I, so I is equal to 0, I less than n, I plus plus, scanf %d ampersand a of I. I'll write a statement to ask the user for entering array elements. Enter array elements. And then print the array elements. Printf array elements are, and use the same loop. Change this to printf and remove these. Put a tab space in between the elements. Okay, let's run and see. Enter n 5. Enter array elements 0, 2, 4, 6, 8. And the array elements are 0, 2, 4, 6, 8.